Welcome to my channel Bperfect Beauty. If you are new to my channel, my name is Juliana. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the new Beauty Bay Dark Fantasy palette. Now you're probably thinking you're seeing Christmas tree on the background. Yeah, it's definitely Christmas trees. I bought this background November last year and I didn't get to use it a lot. Before I knew it, the festive season was over and I had to kind of like switch it up. So this time around, I'm starting early. I mean, it is almost Christmas. It's less than 3 months now. Yeah, so I'm going to be using this as part of my background from now until after the festive season. Anyway, I'm going to be doing one look with this palette, and I'm going to be doing some swatches, and I'm going to be giving you my thoughts after the swatches. So just a quick look into the inside of the palette. I'm pretty sure you would have seen it here and there, but this is the inside of the palette. It is gorgeous, dark and beautiful. Yeah, so this is what I used to create this look. So if you like to know how I created this look and you want to see the swatches of this palette, then please keep on watching. Okay, I haven't swatched the palette yet, but I'm kind of feeling, I don't know, neutral / fall look with green on my lower lid, yeah, and this on my upper lid. I've been doing a lot of colorful look. I kind of want a break. So I think I'm going to be going neutral folly kind of look. Yeah. Okay, alright, with that being said, I'm going to concentrate on this brown, this shade here, that brown, possibly that to highlight my inner corner, and then the greens on my lower lid. Yeah, those are the shades I'm feeling for this look. Yeah, I think maybe in my second look I might go colorful, but for today's look it's going to be the browns. I'm going for the shade called Algorithm. Yeah, it's like a mid-tone brown. I'm going to put that on my crease. Changing my brush. I want like a softer kind of effect, so that's why I'm changing my brush. The other one was too hard, so just applying that on my crease. It's actually darker than I was expecting. I'm going to pull it a little bit towards the outer part of my lid. Okay, I'm going to kind of like make sure that all the shades on the brush is more or less done on my crease. Then I'm going to start using the other side of the brush to kind of blend the edges of the brown. I don't want the intensity of that brown. I want a lighter brown. So I might change my brush actually to a clean brush with no product. Alright, going for this big fluffy brush, I'm just going to use that to blend the edges, because there's no light shade in this palette to blend the shade out, and I don't want to reach for anything else. Now changing to a smaller brush so that I can have precise reach, I want to say, like that. Yeah, I really don't enjoy blending my eyeshadows, but this one is looking like I've got a blend. Okay, I think I like the way it looks. I haven't got a choice unless I have to dig into another palette, and I'm not going to. So I'm going back with that shade again, and I'm going to re-intensify my crease, because I lost a bit of the color when I blended my lid. Alright, a little bit of the intensity is back now. Okay, now I'm going into the shade called Oaks. It's like a cool tone brown. I don't know what that's going to look on the eyes, but I don't really like cool tone shades, so not bad. Just going to put down the outer part of my lid. I'm still going to use that warm kind of reddish burgundy shade, but I'm going to apply this first before I go for the burgundy color. Okay, finally going into that shade. It's called Reality, and this is what it looks like. So it's a, to be honest with you, it's like wine brown burgundy. Yeah, we'll see what that looks like on the eyes. So I'm going to put that right on the lower part of my lid. Yeah, that is beautiful and gorgeous. And I'm going to pull it all over my lower lid. Wow, that is really beautiful and yummy. Yeah, I think the brown I lay down underneath this kind of intensifies this shade. I'm sure if I laid it down as the first shade, it will possibly not be exactly this color. That is really beautiful. I really wish I had a warm brown to blend this out with. Alright, I'm gonna try something that might seem a bit crazy. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm gonna mix this and this brown together and see if I can get a warmer shade. Might be a disaster, so I'm just gonna stamp down slightly on the edge. I don't know what I think, but yeah, I'm trying it anyway. Alright, taking more of that whitish shade, I'm just gonna lay it down all over the edges, and then I'll go back with that brown. I think that might give me a better effect. Yeah, I kind of like the fact that all the shades in the palette, but the fact that it doesn't have lighter shade, it just means that you can use the palette on its own, really, unless you are going for like a very, very dark look. I mean, the name does say dark fantasy. I wish I had done this before. Now going back into that brown, I'm now going to lay, oh, can you see that? It's definitely lighting that brown. That's what I should have done in the first place. So there you go. If you want to lighten any shade in this palette, just lay down the white first. Yeah, that's giving a better blended effect on the outer part of my lid. I wish I really had done that before. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to do my lower lid now with the greens. Wow, it looks very smoky. Alright, for my lower lid, it's going to be 3 choices really. So I'm going to start with that green, then possibly go into that, then before I go on to the darker green. Or maybe I should stick with just the 2. Yeah, I'm going to try the 3 greens and see. If I don't like that, I'm just going to override it with this. Alright, starting with that first green, it's called Plasma. Yeah, that's quite darker than I was expecting. I don't know how this palette is going to work for very light skin tone. It really is dark. And swap it to the medium green, it's called Slime. Yeah, I like the shade of this one a lot. I'm pulling it a bit to the front as well. Yeah, I like this shade better than the first green I used. Then now going into the darkest green. So I'm kind of making sure that this doesn't go anywhere near the outer part of my lid. I really want it to stay on my lower lid. I don't want any mixture or anything today. Just going on the lower lid and that's it. And then back to the medium green. I'm just going to lay it a little bit over the darker green so that they blend well together. Yeah, just like that. Alright, before we go into shimmers, I want to put a little bit of black on the outer part of this wine shade. So I'm going with the same brush I used to apply the wine. And I'm just dabbing a little bit, a tiny little bit on the outer part of my lid and a little bit on the lower part towards my lash line. It's really pigmented, so very, very careful. But the good thing, so far so good, the shades haven't had any fallout, even though there is a little bit kickback in the pan. Okay, yeah, I think that looks better. I just wanted my lid to be kind of darker than the wine shade. Yeah, that's it. I think it's time to apply shimmers. Okay, I don't know which of the shimmers I'm going to use, but this is what is available. So it's that black, purple, it's like royal blue or purple. That's another purple. Yeah, this one is more purple than this. Is like a pinkish purple, and then there's a blue shimmer and then lighter shimmer. So I don't know what I want to do. Possibly try the black shimmer. It might ruin this look. Okay, these are my options. As well as this. I don't know what that is. This is not an official swatching, but I just want to see what they look. Oh wow, kind of like that black one. And then this one on my thumb is that. I think I might go for this one on my thumb. Just a little bit scattered all over my lid. Let's try that. Okay, going with this green, I'm gonna use that on my lower lid right there. So that's a little bit dark, but I'm going to lay another color over it. And then I'm going with this silver, I want to say silver white shade. It's called Code. And I'm putting that right in the front part of my, oh wow. You see how it transformed that green to like a, I want to say silverish green. So I'm laying that right in my inner tear duct. And a little bit over that green. So I'm going to kind of place it a little bit up on the middle part of my lid, just right there, because the look is really dark, so I need light in my eyes. Just trying to bring the lightness back in my tear duct. Yeah, can you see that? So it deflects from all the dark shade on my lid. Right, now I'm going with Virtual, which is this black. It's black, but it's got like specks of green in it. Can you see? Yeah, so I'm laying that all over the outer part of my lid. I'm also putting a little bit right in the corner of my lid. I'm gonna kind of blend it out again with the matte. In all fairness, I don't think this black shimmer is really a shimmer. I think it's in between matte and shimmer. It's not like your normal Beauty Bay shimmer. Yeah, definitely it's a mixture of shimmer and matte. And for the inner part of my lid, I'm going with this purple. I want to say this is actually got like a black in it, so it's like a purple black. Yeah, but this is what it looks like. I'm just going to lay that in between the black and the silver, just to give my eyes more dimension, really. Yeah, and I'm taking it a little bit into the inner part of my eyes, just by my crease. Yeah, the purple definitely has some black in it. I can see some black on the inner part of my lid. I kind of think it ties in well with the black shimmer I used. Good combination. But overall, I sort of wish I left it at matte. Yeah, I prefer the look when it was all matte. I should have just left it like that and put shimmer in the inner part of my lid and leave it. But I can never resist a good shimmer, really. Alright, because of the black base in the purple, I'm going to bring the silver just all over the front part of my crease. Yeah, just like this. I feel like it needs a bit more brightness, so I'm going to pull the silver all the way onto the top part of my crease. Yeah, just some sort of cleanup, really. It's too dark. Yeah, just like that. You can see the difference it's already making. So just pulling the silver right on top of my crease towards my brow bone, but just underneath, not getting to my brow bone, just on top of my crease. And then finally going into that brush I used for the wine and black, I'm just like going to blend the edges without using any extra products, so just tapping in. And then the one I used for the brown, using that to clean just underneath my brow bone. A little bit back and forth. I might use my powder to kind of like brighten up in between the black. I don't like the black to be too near my brows, so I might just clean under the help. Yep, I think I'm done with the eye look. This is definitely not what I planned. I should have just left that matte the way it is. I like the shade better than what I have on now, but it's done, so I mean there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm going to apply my waterline liner. It needs to be something really bright because my eyes looks very dark to me right now, so I need to bring like some light in my waterline. I don't know if I'm going to do any wings yet, but I'll be back anyway. Alright, I'm back with the finished look, and this is what the eyes is looking like. So first thing first, while I was finishing up my look, I kind of felt that the eyes needed like some sort of blending shade between the purple I put and the black. So I went for this shimmer and I put it right between that between this shade and the black, and I think it kind of blended well. What gave me the idea was the liner I used. I didn't want to use black liner from the beginning. I didn't want to start my eye with a black liner, so I wanted to use a purple liner at first near my tear duct and then kind of like continue with a black liner. But when I put it on my eyes, it kind of looked a bit off, and I realized I needed like an in-between shade, like a, I want to say blending shade between that pink, I will call it pink black, and the black. So I kind of went for that purple. Yeah, so I had to dig in here, and I think it looks really nice. Yeah, I think it brought the look together. I don't know if you can see that purple liner as well. Yeah, it gave it some sort of, I don't know, additional beauty if you like. And in my waterline, I just had to go for something really bright, so I went for Limelight. Yeah, Plouise paint as usual. I'm just going to swatch a bit on the back of my hand. So this is what it looks like on the back of my hand. Yeah, it is very bright and I like it like that. I think it kind of brightens up the look a little bit more. Alright, for my lips, at first I went for a green lipstick, but I didn't like it. I went for this shade and I didn't really like it, so I had to change it to the one on my lips. So this one is from Melt. I cannot pronounce the name, but I'll put it up on the screen. Something Rika, whatever. Yeah, but this is the shade on the back of my hand. So it is a beautiful lipstick. I really love that shade. I don't have it at all, and I've been searching in UK since. I still haven't found it, but I do like it because purple tend to make me look bruised. So I'm better off with like a mixture of purple and pink, or a mixture of purple and lilac. Anything blatant purple, it just makes me look bruised. Even it makes my teeth goes yellow. I don't know, but this one is perfect. Alright, let's swatch the palette, and after that I'll give you my opinion or impression, or at least first impression about the palette. So as usual, I'm going to be swatching from this side, and I'm going to swatch all the shades in the palette because it's a new palette, and I also want to see what all of the shades look like really. Okay, first 4 shades, and I'm going to start from here just so I can have room to swatch everything. That's that brown. Then next is a shimmer, and then a green matte. This is the matte I put right in near my tear duct, and the black I put on my lid is the last one on that row. So I'm going to swatch them all together. So this is the first row. Okay, second row. So starting with this, that's the first shade in the second row. That's the one I had all over my lid, which I do regret putting shimmer on. I should have left it like that. That was a beautiful, beautiful shade. So a shimmer, another green on my lower lid. Okay, I built that green up. Next is a green shimmer, and then next is this matte green, and I will swatch it upside down. I kind of have to put my hand down to swatch it properly. So that's what that green looks like. That is gorgeous, definitely gorgeous. Is the one I had on the outer part of my lower lid. Yeah, that's so beautiful. So these are the first 2 rows in the palette. Okay, third row. Yeah, I think this row on its own will make a beautiful look. It's so well coordinated according to rows really. But this is the first shade. Oh, that is gorgeous. It kind of matches my lipstick perfectly. And then the next one, which is a matte, right there. Next one is a shimmer. And then that brown I first put on my lid that still appeared too dark. And lastly, the black based pink shade. It's interesting. I think I want to swatch the let's see if it's gonna come out well here. Yeah, that's the shade. Definitely got black in it. It's a black based pink. Don't know if you can see on my fingers. Even the smears on the swatch is black. Yeah, I definitely got a black base on it. And then this is the final row. I'm gonna swatch right on the side of my hand. So this is the first shade in the last row, and that's the black I laid over the wine. And then is, I want to say silver. It's the one in my tear duct. then a blue, beautiful shimmer, and then another shimmer. This is actually the one I had on my inner corner, not this one. And then finally a blue. Try and swatch that right there. That is gorgeous. The dark mattes in this palette are really gorgeous and beautiful, and quite surprising that they don't have fallout. Honestly, I don't know how Beauty does their thing, but they definitely have it down, you know, in making their palettes. I don't know how they do it. Yeah, so those are all the swatches of the new Beauty Bay Dark Fantasy palette. That is gorgeous. Alright, my thoughts on this palette. I absolutely love it. It is very dark. Is it dark? Very dark. That I cannot deny. I mean, there's hardly any kind of blending shade in it. I mean, apart from this white, which I kind of wished I realized from the start that even this brown was going to be too dark on my crease. I mean, it would have made my life so much easier. Laying this down, when I did this eye off camera, I first laid the white down and then I put the brown. It went smoothly, and I wish I did that from the word go. So just a note of warning, if any of this shade is too dark for you, lay the white down first on any of the colors, whether it's the green, the black, whatever it is. Lay the white down first as a base, and then put your other shades to kind of like, I want to say, tone down the look, because it is a dark palette. If you are of light skin toned and you like to use your palette on its own without mixing it, don't go near this palette. Unless you are prepared to use another palette with it, it's going to end up looking all raccoony, unless maybe for your lower lid as a pop of color. But on the main lid, the shades are just so dark and pigmented. In fact, it's very difficult to create a blended look if you are going to avoid the green. The only shade you can get away with a blended look is the green, and that's because it's got like light shades. So it's only the green that's got light shades. The purple, I mean, look at that. That is so deep. I mean, that's like a lead shade, not even a blending shade, unless you decide to blend it with green, and I don't know what that's going to look like. But yeah, it's a definitely dark palette. It lives up to its name. Dark fantasy, definitely dark. Now, if you're going to combine with any other palette, it is perfect. And I'm just going to show you some other palettes side by side. Alright, this is the one they came out with just before the dark fantasy, the new mood palette. And if you look at the two together, they are beautiful and gorgeous. The shades that are missing in this palette is kind of like here. Look at the purple on this side, your cool tone kind of purple mixed with this purple in here is just beautiful, because this purple is bordering on the side of lilac and they're kind of like cool tone. So yeah, they definitely build on each other. So if you have this, definitely this is a perfect mixture. This is like a darker sister, I want to say, to this palette, or even any of their palette. I mean, they tend to kind of favor green a lot these days. Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is beautiful, and I'm so glad. When I saw the inside, I immediately knew I was going to be combining with my other Beauty Bay palettes. Yeah, so this is beautiful together. Also, comparing it with the Wilderness palette. Mind you, the Wilderness palette does not need any help. This is a perfect palette. I don't know what they were doing when they created this one. This color story, it is perfect. As in, no complaint, nothing. Row by row, column by column, you can create a look. It's so beautiful. But I also think this kind of like helps this, I wouldn't say help, but kind of enhances the Wilderness palette, because the Wilderness palette doesn't have a black, although it has them dark blue and dark green, but there's no black. But this has a black. So if you really want to darken your outer corner, then this will be perfect. Yeah, I do think you can use this together as well. I'm finally putting it together with their Hearty palette. So I only have the 9 shades, but look how beautiful this is. So this is like your medium tone range warm kind of greens mixed with this dark green. Oh, it is beautiful. So if you have all these other palettes, yeah, I'll say go for this palette. But if you are just buying one palette, or you don't want to mix it with any other palette, you just want to stick to one palette and do your look, yeah, don't go for this. But if you look at the palette on its own and want to judge the palette on its own, it is a beautiful palette. Yeah, dark, but just so beautiful and gorgeous. The shades are pigmented, the shimmers are beautiful. Even this black that is supposed to be, to me it feels like a mixture of shimmers and matte, it still lay down almost like a shimmer. It still worked well, you know, compared to Colourpop tend to have this kind of shades a lot, you know, matte with like little flakes, and they still blend out completely like matte. This didn't. It still stayed true to its formula, and it stayed like a certain shade, and it's also very pigmented. So it's like the best of both worlds. It's got the pigmentation of a matte, and it's got the shininess of a shimmer. Yeah, so I really enjoy that. Yeah, I'm hoping this is not like a limited edition, because I can just see this flying off the shelf very quick. So if you're interested in this one, I'll say just grab one, because it complements a lot of their palette. The Magic palette, the what's the other one that they brought out, a mixture of green and purple. I'll leave the name and the picture on the screen, but yeah, it matches all of their palettes, and it kind of like goes hand in hand together. Yeah, I love the palette. I love the palette. My only but is that it doesn't have blending shades, but I am a multiple palette user, so I really don't mind. I don't tend to stick to one palette unless I'm reviewing it as a new palette. Most times I use 2-3 palettes, so for me, perfect. It's so perfect. So next time I do use it, I'm gonna be digging into lighter shades, you know, to blend any shade I want in here. Yeah, so that's my thought on the new Beauty Bay Dark Fantasy palette. It definitely lives up to its name, and it's such a gorgeous palette. Gorgeous color story, beautiful shades, pigmented, no fallout. I love it. I definitely love it. I'll say if you have the opportunity to get this palette, definitely go for it. Yeah, absolutely yes from me.